Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday, the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto was cleared by IEBC to run for the presidency. So that means Ruto is no longer a UDA aspirant. As of now, he is a presidential candidate. Now, immediately after that clearance, Ruto made his way to Kamkunji grounds. And yes, he had a super massive rally. Mostly for me, I concentrated on William Samoei Ruto's first speech after being cleared to be a presidential candidate. Yesterday, it was his first speech. And there are several things that I'm learning from William Ruto first speech. The first thing was that Ruto decided to respond to Francis Atwoli. That was the first assignment he did. Remember, Francis Atwoli had some issues with Ruto. Na alisema Ruto hatakuwa kwa ballot. So Ruto decided to confirm to Francis Atwoli that he is on ballot. And secondly, for those who listen very keen to William Samoei Ruto, William Ruto's speech sounded like an opposition leader and not a presidential candidate. Thirdly, Ruto talked about now his decision to run for the presidency, and having been cleared by IEBC, it is an important day for Kenyan, and especially Kenyan women, to have hopes, the poor Kenyan women, that one day their son or their daughter can make it to become the Kenyan president. That is a question we need to interrogate also. If Ruto is the first person coming from a humble background running for the presidency. I wanted to listen to him shortly, and after this, we want to continue with this conversation.
Walisema hatutafika Nairobi. Katika taifa letu la Kenya, anaweza kuamini mtoto wake hata kama ni mama maskini, anajua siku.
Now we are continuing with the panel discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel but have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, the first thing William Ruto has done is to respond to Francis Atwoli. Remember, in this election, Francis Atwoli is not a presidential candidate. The what competitor William Ruto is going to face in this election, it is Raila Amolo Odinga. So for me, William Ruto's first response, because that was the first word he did, to Francis Atwoli, I can compare that to a hunter who is hunting an elephant, but because a squirrel is passing by, he loses the focus and target the squirrel. That is the first mistake William Ruto has done, because he needs to focus on Raila Amolo Odinga, how he's going to counter Raila Odinga with his agenda. Now, secondly, Ruto has talked about yesterday being an important day to all women who come from humble background, the poor. That this time round, the son of the poor, the son of the parents who are coming from humble background is on ballot. That is what Ruto wants Kenyans to believe. And in my view, I understand that Ruto is not the first poor or the first son coming from a humble background being on ballot. What I know is that Ruto has been supporting presidential candidates who have been coming from a well-known family. We can refer to maybe wale watu wamesema kama loyal families. President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a prince from Kenyatta family. What I know is that the first person who became the second president of the Republic of Kenya, being Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, I think he came from humble background. So if we are talking about women believing that their sons can become president, in as much they are coming from humble background, then President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, the late, is a good example. So Ruto is not the example we are looking for. Moi was the first example. So if it is anything to trust that, then Moi is the person to trust. He has been there, he served, we know how he did. And so we can tell sometimes when people come from humble background what they can do to a nation. So Ruto is not the first person to come from humble background and being on ballot. Moi served for good 24 years. Who knows Moi's father or mother? Who are they? No one has their history. That is the truth. So for me, that one, it was a lie. No one should buy into that. Because there was a chance Ruto could have supported people from humble background. Then from there, he can say, now I'm on ballot. Also coming from humble background, having been supporting people from humble background. Then people can listen to him. But by the fact that he was supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013 and 2017, it means he has never been with humble people. But today he needed their votes. Will it going to work? Will it work for him? I don't know. Now, if you listen to William Ruto's speech from the beginning to the end, he has been sounding like an opposition leader. Not a person who has been in the government, not a serving deputy president, but an opposition leader. And this could be an indication that Ruto might be taking an opposition role earlier, even before we get to an election. Maybe he knows where he's heading to. Because when you come out and say that today is the beginning of the journey to redeem our country from the chains of few who believe that we are tenants in Kenya. You see, that's what he's saying. And who are these few when William Samoei Ruto is the deputy president? Was he not part of the 2013 formation of the government? Was Ruto not part of 2017 formation of the government? And who are these few individuals if he's not among them? Because he's the sitting deputy president. There's no journey William Samoei Ruto is starting here. He is in power. He is the sitting deputy president. If he knows that Uhuru Kenyatta and the team have been oppressing Kenyans, are a part of the chains that has made Kenyans to be treated as if they are tenants in their own country, ati hao ni wapangishaji kwa nchi yao, then the best thing Ruto could have done for Kenyans to believe him was to distance himself from such people. And the best way to distance himself from such people, it was for him to resign from that government. You have been elected with Uhuru Kenyatta, and you understand that Uhuru is misleading Kenyans, is oppressing Kenyans. Then resign from it and come out to defend the oppressed. Then from there, Kenyans can understand that when it comes to 2017, Ruto was here with us. He did not agree to what Uhuru was doing, and he resigned. But because even up to date, Ruto has not found any concrete reason to disassociate himself from Uhuru Kenyatta's government, he is still there. That means he's part of the problem he's talking about. So for me, that Ruto has missed the point. Again, this is what Ruto said. We are in the journey to make sure that there is equality in our country, Kenya. So this one means that we don't have equality in Kenya. And if we don't have equality in Kenya, where was Ruto in 2013? Was he not part of Uhuru Kenyatta's government? And where was he in 2017? I think Ruto has been part of the formation of the current government we are having now. So if we talk about the journey to make sure that there is equality in Kenya, then it means Ruto is telling us that he has been part of the problem that has made Kenya to be in a situation whereby there is no equality. If you believe that Uhuru has made it hard to have equality in this country, then he should have advised President Uhuru Kenyatta as his principal advisor. And if Uhuru was not taking his advice, the best thing for a good person to do is to resign from that government, because the person you are deputizing has refused to take your advice. So what do? You get out. Then when you are outside, you can now start to talk about these issues. You can now get out now to condemn what president is doing in a wrong way. But as long as you have been there taking credit for all the project that has prospered, there's no way you will start talking about inequality in the country where you are the deputy president. You had a role to play to advise the president. If he's not taking it, resign, then come out to condemn what he's doing. Play the opposition role. But it is too hard for anyone even to understand what Ruto is talking about. I am not sure if these people were listening to William Samoei Ruto. For them, they were there for money, because you have to mobilize people to come into your rally. And lastly, Ruto, this is what Ruto said. Shida ya Kenya siyo ujinga. The problem that is ailing Kenya is lack of unemployment. Siyo ujinga. And this one, Ruto was responding to Raila Odinga. Because Raila Odinga in his manifesto, he still talk about ujinga. And ujinga means you bring the school to educate people. And Raila has a formula to make sure that people are getting, Kenyan children are getting quality education, free. That's what he means. But then when Ruto talk about lack of employment, and he goes ahead to say that for him, he is going to unlock employment in this country to give 5 million jobs. The question we are asking, where is 1 million job per year that he promised in 2017 and 2013? Up to now, we should be having 10 million jobs. But as we are talking now, even they did not manage to create 1 million jobs for Kenyans. From 2013 to date, they did not manage. So what is he telling the electorate? What will he do when already he failed and he betrayed Kenyans on the promises he gave in 2013 about 1 million jobs per year? So to me, I think Ruto, he has shown how he's going to play an opposition role. He did not put himself in a situation whereby he can be viewed as a presidential candidate. What we are seeing in William Ruto is an opposition leader. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this far. May good God bless you, and see you in our next video.